MMA fighters are nothing short of superhumans as they possess great speed, strength, skill, endurance. These are qualities that they share with Marvel's band of heroes. In this video, we will take a look at fighters who are capable of superhuman feats. Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is the type of guy to secretly be a superhero. Ferguson parlayed his adoration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Which one's your favorite? I like Michelangelo.
into being a dang near superhuman himself. I mean, this guy kicks steel pipes as a hobby. He even showcased crazy cardio as he easily climbs to the summit and returns from a trek, even before his teammates can do it once. Ferguson can be bloodied and beaten, only to enjoy the moment. A fighter who truly thrives in the fire. El Cucuy has leaned a lot on his hero-esque mental time and time again inside the octagon. Despite his current losing streak of 5, it's not hard to take Ferguson's career as a whole and label him as freakishly tough and more exciting than Marvel movies. Not throwing shade, but Ferguson could have stopped Thanos. Take a hike, Star-Lord. Francis Ngannou. Does this guy even need an explanation? First of all, his superhero origin story is nuts. This guy went from country to country to country, crossed a freaking desert, was homeless in places where he didn't know the language, and still made things work for himself. But what superhero feats is he capable of? Well, dude hits as hard as a Ford. Just ask Dana White. Through some rad science that won't make sense to everyone, we found out that Ngannou hits with a striking power of 129,161 units, measured with Power Cube. That's 96 horsepower. Even if you're not a car guy, you should know that it's a lot of power for a punch. It looks like it too. Watch any of his highlights and just see how quickly Ngannou can put his opponents to sleep. It's unnatural. Diaz brothers. What superpower would you have if you could pick? Oftentimes, people will say things along the lines of super strength, invisibility, and the power to go back in time fix an embarrassing mistake. Things like that. But how about the power to hit rare submissions while being stoned? Perhaps it's not an ideal superpower, but it's still cool to see fighters like Nick and Nate who have this unique aura about them. They're tough as heck, will fight anyone at the time, and they're super athletes. Who else does a triathlon for fun? Heck, Nick even corrected Rogan with a tweet, stating that he has swam across a dangerous lake 5 times. The Diaz brothers take great care of their bodies via their diet and workout regime. Much like Ngannou, Nick and Nate also have a cool hero-like origin story. They grew up in an area that didn't offer much in terms of opportunity. They maintained their Stockton mindset while working on themselves, and they really had an outstanding career. Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes wears horse tranquilizer as nail polish. Seriously, when she starts laying her hands on her opponents, they go to sleep. Forget about solely women's MMA. Amanda Nunes is one of the most terrifying fighters on the roster, period. The super strength and technique is there, but there's something else that makes someone worth idolizing. And that's being true to themselves, regardless of public opinion. Heroes often hide their identity to protect their loved ones, but Nunes stared adversity in the face and said, "Try me." Probably in Portuguese though. Nunes is the first openly lesbian champion in the UFC. Nunes is definitely someone to look up to, whether it be a favorite fighter or a personal role model. Couple that with being able to kick butt and make it look easy, and that's what heroes are made of. Conor McGregor. What McGregor does that replicates a superhero, or, in this case, a villain above all else, is his ability to garner attention like a black hole. The Notorious is the best example that the UFC has seen of a fighter turning his words into money. He talks trash. People tune in to see him win or lose, and he used his insane skill as a wordsmith with a potty mouth to good use. He has a way of capturing attention and making people focus on him as if he were talking to them personally. Then, for the most part of his career, he had really good results, specifically with his left hand. The touch of death, some call it. His unfathomable rise to the top serves as a great example of the power of words and charisma. McGregor has some serious power in his left hand, maybe even superhero level power. His highlight reel shows his left hand constantly able to put his foes to sleep. For the most part, he has been quite successful disregarding the recent slump that he has seen post-Mayweather saga.